Welcome back, everybody, to Thrive, where I believe you were not created to survive, but to thrive. And if you change yourself, you can change your world. I'm your host, Alex Sagat, and welcome back to all of our Thrive family. If you are new, if this is your first time watching or listening to Thrive, I will ask you if you can please subscribe. Help us by subscribing. It'll help us to know our audience a little bit better. And leave us a comment or send us a message. Thank you to everybody that keeps reposting all of our social media clips, that keeps spreading the news about Thrive. This is a leadership podcast all about life, lifestyles, and leadership. And we try to talk a little bit about everything, including faith. I'm a person of faith. I lead Calvary Church in Miami with my wife and an incredible team, the best team. So you will hear a lot about God, Jesus, the Bible. And I believe we serve an incredible God. We serve a God that loves us. And so maybe you're not a person of faith. I still think that there's a lot of leadership principles that can help. And so my prayer is that you would tune in, listen, and hopefully whatever I'm learning that I'm trying to pass on, hopefully can help you. So help us to subscribe, leave us a comment, and keep reposting all over social media. That is a massive help. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What started off as a small leadership thing for our dream team, now over 1,000 subscribers is absolutely amazing. Thank you for all your support. Today's episode is all about vision. It's all about vision. I've titled this episode, Your Future Can Affect Your Present. Your future can affect your present. I started thinking about this, how many times what we say is that our present affects our future, or our past affects our future. And I think that is absolutely true. I think our present or our past can affect our future. I'll give you an example. I know somebody that cannot travel to certain countries because of their past. In their past, they did some things that were not legal. They did some things that were not right. Again, this is before they were a Christian, before they were believers. They did some things in their life that is affecting their today and affecting their future. They are not able to travel to some countries because of their past. So your past can affect your future. I also think your present can affect your future. That's true. I think that if you make a bad choice now, it can affect your tomorrow. All of that is true. But I heard this thought, and I think this thought is absolutely true, beautiful, and powerful. Your future can also affect your present. Your future can affect your present. What does that mean? If we become people of vision, if we become people who look into our future and think about what we want to become, where we want to go, who do we want to be, it will absolutely affect the way you treat your present, the choices you make, the decisions that you take. Let your future shape your present. I'm gonna say that one more time. Let your future shape your present. We just don't live from the past into the future. Sometimes we live from the future back into the present. I'll put it this way. When the end is clear, the present becomes disciplined. When the end is clear, the present becomes disciplined. When I know where I want to go, I'll give you an example. I would love to one day be 95 years old, sit next to Diana, be married for 70 plus years, have 3 children who they themselves have had 3-4 children, who those children have had 3-4 children, and one day sit in a rocking chair with a Christmas tree, 95 years old, and be surrounded with all my family as we sing some holiday songs, right? That's a vision I've always had. And I'm like, how beautiful would it be to be married for 70 plus years, to have 3 kids, to have children, children have children, and their children have children, and be surrounded by this picture. Okay, now having that clear picture, what does it do? It helps me to stay faithful. I'm tempted like anybody else, but I want to be married for 70 plus years. And so my vision helps me be disciplined today. My future affects my present. Right? So if I want my 3 kids to love me, I'm going to discipline them, parent them, guide them, but also try to love them as best I can so that by the time I'm 95, they love me, they want to be around me and Diana. We create a tight family unit. Again, my future vision is helping me be disciplined in my present. Right? What picture do you have of your future? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see your business? Where do you see your family? Where do you see your church? Where do you see your corporation? Get a picture in your mind of what, like a clear picture. See yourself 20 years from now, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, and that's going to shape your present. Your future can affect your present. Athletes train because of race day. They have the end in mind. They know a year from now, for example, I'm going to be in the Olympics and I want to run the 100-meter race or the 400-meter race and I want to win. So what am I doing? In my present, I'm training. I am working myself to the point where I know that day I'm going to be prepared and ready. Something in the future is affecting their present. Right? Builders work because they see the finished house. They have a drawing of this finished house. They have the architectural plans. They see the picture of the finished house. So they're building today because they know how it's going to look tomorrow. Leaders decide differently when they know the destination. Vision doesn't just inform the future, it reforms the present. I'm going to say that one more time. Vision doesn't just inform the future, it reforms the present. And so today, if you want to be a leader who thrives, be a leader with a clear vision. Your future can affect your present. I think you will think much differently of your life when you get a clear picture. You may not make it to that day of tomorrow, right? Like you may not build that house, you may not, but at least you get some kind of vision. This is where I want to go. Get a vision for your life. Get a vision for your future. Get a vision for your corporation. If you want to have a big, beautiful office, multi-level story building, start cleaning your small office. Start taking care of it. How you treat your today is going to obviously affect your tomorrow, and how you think about your tomorrow is going to affect your today. The Bible tells us that God knows the end from the beginning. Isaiah chapter 46, verse 10, I make known the end from the beginning. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2 says, for the joy set before him, Jesus endured the cross. I love that scripture. The Bible says that Jesus endured the cross because he knew he was going to resurrect on the other side. He knew he was going to bring many toward him, and we were going to spend eternity with him. He went through seasons of pain because he understood the future brought joy. Right? When you have an end in mind, it'll help you with the present because your future can affect your present. Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. Where there is no vision, the people perish. You don't drift toward discipline. You're drawn into it by vision. Without vision, you react instead of lead. Without vision, you react instead of lead. You don't become a leader. You're actually reactionary to everything. Without a vision, you're actually scrambling around. Without vision, you choose convenience over calling, right? You take the easy road. When you're a leader that has no vision, you're going to take the comfort road, the safe road. You won't risk. You won't be disciplined. You take convenience over calling. Without vision, you live impulsively. You live impulsively, hastily. You're always moving around, whatever floats your boat, whatever helps your emotions. A visionless life is vulnerable to every distraction. Let me say that one more time. A visionless life is vulnerable to every distraction. And so today, get a clear vision. Who do you want to become? Where do you want to go? What is it you want to do? The clearer and sooner you get your vision, the more disciplined and prepared you're going to be. Your future can affect your present. I think that's a good statement that all of us need to begin to say and multiply and talk about how your future can affect your present. I know, always, over and always, we say your past can affect your future, your present can affect your future. All of that is true, but your future can also affect your present. I have a picture in mind, and because I have a picture in mind, I'm trying to shape my today. With vision, you can say no more easily. For example, a couple episodes ago, we talked about the body, your temple, right? If I have a vision of how I want to be when I'm 45, when I'm 50 years old, 60 years old physically, I'm going to say no more easily to carbs, to bread. I'm going to say no more easily to pita chips. I'm going to say no more easily to certain things in my life because I have a vision. I know where I'm trying to go. I know how much I want to weigh a year from now. So that helps me a little bit more to say no. I'm not saying I'm not tempted. I'm not saying I'm not going to fall sometimes. But having a vision. Today, get a vision. Get a clear picture. It'll help you say no more easily, right? If you want to be a faithful person, you want to be married 50 years from now, you want to be married 70 years from now, if God gives us long life, if you want to get to a 70, 80-year marriage, God willing, it'll help you say no to a lot of single person nights out, to temptation, to distraction, right? Because you have a vision. It'll help you endure longer. Right? You'll put up with some things. You won't easily fall out. Like if you want to build a corporation, you will know the first 5 years of business, Statistically proven. Listen, statistically proven, the first 5 years of a business are the hardest. The first year, absolutely. Over 75% of businesses close within the first year. After that, the first 5 years, over 50% close. Why? Because people don't endure. As soon as hardship shows up, as soon as difficult moments shows up, people are out. The same thing in marriage. As soon as the first argument happens, as soon as a problem comes up, hey, we're out, we don't get along, I think we shouldn't be together, right? But when you have a vision of the future, wait, I'm trying to build this business, and the first year may be turbulent, the first 5 years may be rough, we're not making a profit, this is difficult, there's bills, how we're gonna get this through, how we're gonna pay employees, I can't hire anybody else, I don't know what to do, I may have to work 90 hours. But when you have a vision in mind, you endure a little bit more because you have a clear picture. Same thing with the marriage. Wait, I'm looking at 70, 75 years, that rocking chair, that Christmas picture that I have in my mind, surrounded by my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren. I'm going to endure some arguments. I'm going to endure when Diana doesn't understand that I'm right. I'm going to endure certain things, right? Right? Because you have a picture in mind, so you endure a little bit different. You'll choose wiser. I'm going to make some better decisions, right? If I'm trying to build a business, I'm going to say no to mismanaging money, or I may say no to one vacation. I'm pouring into my business for this 1 year, maybe not forever, for seasonal. I'm going to make some wiser choices because I'm going after this picture I have in my mind. So again, your future can affect your present. Here's the bottom line of today's episode. Get a picture in your mind of the future and work toward that goal. With everything that you've got and with God's Spirit on your side, you can do it. Get a picture of the future in your mind, and your future can affect your present. Stop thinking about the past and how it affects your future. Today, let the future affect your present. 5 simple applications, and we'll wrap up today's episode. Number 1, your vision determines your direction. Very simple. We've talked about this before. This is elementary type stuff, but your vision determines your direction. Direction always follows destination. Direction always follows destination. Your vision determines your direction. I'll give you a very simple example. Early last year, beginning of 2025, me and Diana wanted to go on vacation to Costa Rica. All right, we wanted to go to Costa Rica. We wanted to go see my family and then go spend a couple of days by the jungle, the mountains, and the beach. It's a really cool location in Costa Rica that we like going to. So what does that do? Because you have a picture of where you want to go, we know where to go online, Expedia. We know what tickets to buy. When we go to the airport, we know which gate we're going to go to. When we get off in San Jose, I know I'm going to go see certain families. I know I'm going to go say hi. I know what hotel I'm going to stay at. Why? Because vision is going to help you with direction. Then after that, we're going to rent the car and we're going to go out to the beach for a few days. Right? Your vision determines your direction. Direction always follows destination. Have a destination and directions will follow. Define where you're going spiritually. Define where you're going relationally. Define where you're going professionally, because vision determines your direction. Get a vision in mind. You'll be better with directions today. Where do you want to go tomorrow? You'll make decisions today. Number 1, your vision determines your direction. Number 2, your clarity shapes your choices. Your clarity shapes your choices. When the future is clear, temptation loses power. When the future is clear, temptation loses power. You don't do certain things because they don't fit your future. You don't do hard things because they actually come and make you weaker or stronger. You actually make better decisions. You do hard things because they make you better. Your clarity shapes your choices. You'll make better choices, easier choices, when you have clarity over your mind. I gave you the example of not eating pita chips or not eating fries because I have a clarity. I have a picture in mind. Number 1, your vision determines direction. Number 2, clarity shapes your choices. Number 3, your purpose fuels discipline. Your purpose fuels discipline. Discipline isn't punishment, it's alignment. Right? Stop thinking about discipline as punishment over your life, as something so difficult or as a burden. No, it's a blessing. It's alignment over your life. In other words, your schedule reflects your purpose. Your habits reveal your destination. Your purpose fuels discipline. I'll give you an example. Before, and I don't say this to boast, and anyway, this is just how much I used to gruel over sermons. I used to work on them, and you have to know when to stop, but I used to work on them and work on them and work on them, and it'll be Saturday, and I would spend all day Saturday working on my sermons and trying to fix and edit and all that, and I wouldn't know when to stop. And 3 years ago, we had Aria. Aria is our first daughter, and Aria is not 3 years old. But when we were getting ready to have Aria and my wife was going through pregnancy, I wanted Saturdays to matter. Our days off are Saturdays and Monday, and I wanted my Saturday back with my family, with my wife, before Aria got there, and I needed to build in discipline into my life and know when enough is enough. So what I started doing is I would pour all my thoughts and energy into Thursday, and I'd rather stay in the office until 8 o'clock at night one day and have my Saturday free with my pregnant wife. So the day of tomorrow when my daughter came, I could spend time with her and my wife and go out and enjoy our Saturdays. So I had to do everything I can. This is what I'm meaning. My purpose of trying to be a good father, feel discipline and knowing when to stop and knowing when to get out of the office and when to say enough is enough. I'm going to pour hard this day so that I can be free on this day. Your purpose. If you want to be a good father, if you want to be a good husband, if you want to be a good leader, it's going to shape and fuel your discipline, your habits, reveal your destination. Number 4, your future identity rewrites your present behavior. Your future identity rewrites your present behavior. You don't live toward who you were, you live from who you're becoming. I'm going to say that one more time. You don't live toward who you were, you live from who you're becoming. Think about your future identity. Again, this is all about vision. This is all about getting a picture in your mind. If you've never done this, this is a good practice. Get an idea, close your eyes. See yourself 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. Where do you want to be? Where do you want your family to be? Where do you want your company to be? And now live toward that goal. You live from who you're becoming. I know you are an ex whatever. I know you have some history, and maybe that history is affecting your present. But stop thinking about your past and think about your future, because your future can affect your present. Act like the leader you're becoming. I'll never forget one time I was walking around this church that I used to help out in. I was walking around with my young adult pastor, and me and him were good friends, and we're walking around. And I'll never forget, he said this statement. I think I've shared it on this on this podcast before. He said, Alex, start walking like a minister before you become a minister. In other words, think of yourself like a pastor and start behaving like a pastor before you become a pastor. And that really started to help me, because I realized, wait, he sees something in me that I don't see in myself. I never thought I was going to be a pastor. I never thought I was a very gifted communicator. I didn't like it. I was timid. I was shy. Had a little bit of like fear, public speaking. I was okay being quiet by myself. I didn't have to speak publicly. I was okay. But it made me think, wow, he's seeing something in me that I don't see, and he's calling me to live at a higher level. If I'm going to do something, start doing it now before you get there. And I remember years later, I'm talking about years later, I ended up at Calvary, and I started serving at Calvary. And I remember after a few years of serving, some people were calling me pastor. And I remember at first I would try to literally like just correct people. And I'd be like, oh, I'm not a pastor. I was literally just helping. I'm like, I'm not a pastor. I was just outside New Believers team handing out Bibles. But every time somebody would say, oh, thank you, pastor. Thank you for the Bible. Or thank you for that prayer. Or thank you for whatever. It reminded me of my young adult pastor's words, right? Start walking like a pastor before you're a pastor. Start walking like a minister before. And I'm like, yeah, I get it now. And some people were seeing something before you saw it. And so act like the leader you're becoming. In other words, see the end mind, see what you could be, see where you're going to go, and act like that now, and it'll affect your future. Speak like the person God is forming and shape me. Change the way you're talking, change the way your language, change the direction of your life, change it and go toward that mark and toward that goal. Number 1, 5 things. Number 1, your vision determines your direction. Number 2, your clarity shapes your choices. Number 3, your purpose fuels discipline. Number 4, your future identity rewrites your present behavior. And 5th and finally, your hope sustains you through the hard now. Your hope sustains you through the hard now. When the future is certain, the present becomes survivable. What does that mean? Again, going back to somebody that's building a business, going back to somebody that's starting fresh in marriage, when you have hope that you are going to get to 50, 60, 70 years, when you have this vision that drives hope of you having this business that's going to feed your family and many families, and you're going to be able to produce a product or goods and services to help a lot of people, it'll help you sustain the now. It'll help you survive the hard weather. You'll be able to get through that because you have a hope, because of the picture that you have in mind. We have this hope as an anchor of the soul. The Bible tells us in Hebrews chapter 6. The writer of Hebrews is telling us we can make it through bad weather because we have Jesus as the anchor for the soul, and he's gone behind the curtain or behind the veil. What does that mean? And how can we bring it back down to a leadership application? Well, spiritually, theologically, what it's telling us as believers, as Christians, we can go through hard times. We can survive the hard times. We can go through persecution, blood, sweat, and tears because Jesus made it up to heaven. This is an anchor for my soul. That's where I'm headed. And so I can go through the now because of where I'm going to be then. The same thing is true in leadership. The same thing is true in business. The same thing is true in the business world of America or corporations or any of this. You can make it through when you anchor yourself in that future vision. Get a picture, get a vision of your future, and that will anchor you to survive the now. There's going to be some rough days. If you've never started a business, I would say start one. We live in America, the land of opportunity. Start one. See how hard it is at the beginning. Again, maybe you're one of those few percentage people who you have it easy from the beginning and your products, goods, and services take off. It's great. But most people, you're going to endure some hardship as you're trying to manage money, as you're trying to see who do we hire, who do we don't, or get married. You're going to see it's not always butterflies and rainbows and none of that. So there's going to be some arguments. There are going to be some mornings where you can't stand each other, right? The same as once you have kids, add more complication, add more stress. But if you can have a picture or hope, you'll sustain through some of that and you'll begin to see brighter days because your future can affect your present. If you want to live better today, get clearer about tomorrow. If you want to get better today, get clearer about tomorrow. Let your future call you higher, pull you forward, and discipline you now. I'll challenge you. Write down some goals. Draw that picture that you see of yourself 40 years from now, 50 years from now. Identify one habit, one thing that you can do that aligns with that picture, and start living with the end in mind today. Leaders who thrive are leaders who have a clear picture about tomorrow, about the future, and the future affects the present. Today, be a leader who thrives. Get a vision, get a picture about tomorrow, and it'll shape your today. And always remember, if you can change yourself, you can change your world.